Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Lawyers Talk channel from BLawyers Vietnam. I'm pleased to meet everyone again in today's new podcast episode. My name is Ngo Nhat Minh, and I will be accompanied with you today. Today's topic will revolve around a type of license that is extremely important in the pharmacy business. That's the Certificate of Good Distribution Practice for Medicinal Products and Medicinal Materials, also known as the GDP Certificate. To discuss this topic today, we have with us Mr. Bui Quang Thai from BLawyers Vietnam.
Hello, Mr. Minh, and greetings to listeners tuning in to the Lawyer Talk from BLawyers Vietnam. My name is Bui Quang Thai, and with the topic of today's podcast episode, I am very happy to accompany Mr. Minh and listeners to share and explore the regulation related to the issuance of GDP Certificate, as well as the practical consideration that may arise from the process of obtaining GDP Certificate.
Mr. Thai, thank you for accepting our invitation to this podcast episode. The first question, could you please explain how Vietnamese law defines GDP?
According to Article 2.7, Circular Number 3, 2018, GDP stands for Good Distribution Practice, which is translated into Vietnamese as thực hành tốt phân phối. Article 2.3, Circular Number 3, 2018, outline goods distribution practice for medicinal product and medicinal material as a set of principles and standards for the distribution of medicinal product and medicinal material. These practices are vital for maintaining the integrity of medicinal product and material throughout the distribution chain by means of adequate control of the numerous activities which occur during the distribution process, as well as providing a tool to secure the distribution system from unapproved medicinal product and medicinal material. Thus, business involved in the distribution of medicinal product and medicinal material must meet the principle of GDP by undergoing the procedure to obtain a GDP certificate in order to operate in this field.
Thank you, Mr. Thai, for your response. I think the listeners have got the basic information. In addition, can you please tell us about the documents needed for the first time issuance of the GDP certificate dossier?
In reality, documents used for inspection of compliance with GDP principle by a pharmacy business establishment are those included in its application for a certificate of eligibility for a pharmacy business. Therefore, enterprises that are distributor only needs to submit one application for a certificate of eligibility for the pharmaceutical business, along with specific requirement document to assess the degree of compliance with GDP principle. The first time application for GDP certificate includes the following document. 1. Application for issuance of certificate of eligibility for pharmacy business. 2. The technical document about the medicinal product and medicinal material distributor, specifically Form Number 5 GDP. 3. Certified true copy of a certificate of enterprise registration or legal document proving the existence of the establishment. 4. Certified true copy of the pharmacy practice certificate for individual in charge of pharmaceutical expertise. And 5. If the enterprise or its distribution facility distribute, control medicinal product and medicinal material, it is necessary to provide document proving that the establishment has taken measure to ensure security and prevent loss of control medicinal product and medicinal material.
So, which state agencies has the authorities to issue the GDP certificate?
According to the regulation of Vietnamese law, the applicant must submit their application to the Department of Health where the applicant distribution facility exists, instead of the Department of Health where the applicant headquarters are located, as reverse stipulated in the Article 33.1.b of Decree Number 54, 2017. This change ensures convenience for the competent authorities in issuing the GDP certificate when the enterprise headquarters may not be the medicinal product and medicinal material distribution facility.
With such change, how does the process and procedures for issuing the GDP certificate for enterprise take place?
According to Vietnamese law, the procedure for issuing a GDP certificate consists of two stages of implementation. Stage 1 includes the following steps. Step 1. The applicant shall submit the application dossier to the Department of Health where the applicant business location exists. After receiving the application, the receiving authorities of the Department of Health will issue a dossier receipt to the applicant. Step 2. If the applicant is deemed unsatisfactory within 7 working days from the date written on the dossier receipt, the receiving authority shall request the applicant in writing to complete the application and specific necessary additional document. Within 6 months from the day on which the additional document are requested in writing by the receiving authorities, the applicant shall submit the additional document as requested. If the applicant fails to satisfy such request by the deadline, or the application is not satisfactory within 12 months from the first time it is submitted, the application will be rejected. Step 3. Within 5 days from the day on which satisfactory application is received, the Department of Health shall establish an inspectorate and notify the applicant of the inspectorate and expected date of carrying out an on-site inspection at the applicant's distribution facility. Within 15 days from the day of notification, the inspectorate shall carry out an on-site inspection at the applicant distribution facility.
Mr. Thai, can you share more about what is the procedures for stage 2 and what are the steps included in stage 2 of the procedure for first time issuance of the GDP certificate?
Stage 2 of the procedure for the first time issuance of the GDP certificate is the inspection of compliance with the principle of GDP for medicinal product and medicinal material stage at the applicant distribution facility. The inspection procedure of the inspectorate will proceed as follows. Step 1. The inspectorate shall declare the decision on establishment of the inspectorate, purpose and content, and plan for the site inspection at the applicant distribution facility. Step 2. The applicant shall make a brief introduction of the organization, the personnel, and application of GDP principle and specific content in conformity with the inspected content. Step 3. The inspectorate shall inspect and assess the application of GDP principle at the applicant distribution facility. Step 4. The inspectorate shall hold a meeting with the applicant to inform them about deficiencies identified during the inspection, if any, assess the degree of each deficiency, discuss with the applicant about its dissenting opinion about the assessment of each deficiency, and assess the degree of compliance of the applicant distribution facility with the GDP principle, in which a deficiency means is a deviation from principle and standard of GDP or other applicable regulation on pharmacy management. Step 5. The inspectorate shall prepare a record on inspection of compliance with GDP principle. The record shall classify the degree of compliance of the applicant distribution facility with GDP principle, list and analyze the deficiencies, if any, that needs to be corrected by the applicant, and include assenting and dissenting opinions of the inspectorate and the applicant. The inspectorate record shall be signed by head of the applicant distribution facility and head of the inspectorate. The record shall specify members of the inspectorate, location, date, and scope of inspection and be made into 2 copies, one of which is kept by the applicant and the other by the Department of Health.
So, what case might occur after the inspectorate completes the GDP inspection and evaluation at the applicant's distribution facilities, Mr. Thai?
As I have presented, the final step in stage 2 is the preparation of GDP record on the inspection of compliance with GDP principle for the applicant. This will list and analyze the deficiencies of the applicant distribution facility, thereby classifying the degree of the compliance of the applicant distribution facility with the GDP principle. 1. If the GDP inspection record conclude that the applicant distribution facility is a GDP Degree 1 distributor, within 10 days from the end of the on-site inspection at the applicant distribution facility and signing the inspection record date, the Department of Health shall issue a certificate of liability for pharmacy business and or issue a GDP certificate according to Form number 6, Appendix 4 in Circular number 3, 2018 for the applicant. 2. If the GDP inspection record conclude that the applicant facility is a GDP Degree 2 distributor, the applicant's facility and the Department of Health shall follow the following step. Step 1. Within 5 days from the end of the on-site inspection at the applicant distribution facility and signing the inspection record date, the Department of Health shall request the applicant in writing to correct the deficiencies specified in the inspection record. Step 2. After corrective action are taken, the applicant shall send a notification and evidence like document, image, videos, or certificate proving that the deficiencies specified in the inspection record have been corrected. Step 3. Within 20 days from the date on which the deficiency correction report is received, the Department of Health shall assess the correction result, conclude GDP compliance status. If the correction results show that the applicant distribution facility has complied with the GDP, the Department of Health shall issue the certificate of liability for pharmacy business and or the GDP certificate according to Form number 6, Appendix 4 in Circular number 3, 2018. If the correction results show the applicant distribution facility still failed to comply with the GDP, the Department of Health shall provide written explanation for rejecting the application. Step 4. Within 6 months from the day on which additional documents are requested in writing by the Department of Health, the applicant shall submit additional documents as requested. If the applicant fails to satisfy such request by the deadline, or the application is not satisfactory within 12 months from the first time it is submitted, the application will be rejected. Number 3. If the GDP inspection record conclude that the applicant distribution facility is a GDP Degree 3 distributor, within 5 days from the end of the on-site inspection at the applicant distribution facility and signing the inspection record date, the Department of Health shall notify the applicant in writing of its failure to comply with the GDP's principle and refuse to issue the certificate.
I have a question related to the GDP certificate granted to enterprise or its distribution facility in the case that you just presented. That is, in the case in which a partner company wants to check the GDP compliance of a pharmaceutical distribution company. Where can that partner company look up the related information?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Minh. Regarding the case you mentioned, when an enterprise or its distribution facility that has been granted a GDP certificate within 5 days from the date of issuing the GDP certificate, the Department of Health shall publish the following information on the website of the Department of Health. Number 1. Name and address of the distribution facility. Number 2. Full name of the individual in charge of pharmaceutical expertise and their pharmacy practice certificate number. Number 3. Number of the certificate of liability for pharmacy business or and the GDP certificate, if any. Number 4. Expiry date of the inspection of compliance with GDP principle. And number 5. Distribution facility scope of operation. Accordingly, the partner company or relevant parties can carry out the lookup of information of the medicinal product and medicinal material distribution enterprise or its distribution facility on the website of the Department of Health where the distribution facility is located.
Got it. Thank you for your response. Dear listeners, we have just accompanied Mr. Thai through the definitions, the dossiers, and procedures for issuing a GDP certificate. However, The procedures for issuing a GDP certificate is complex, requiring compliance with strict conditions in both the pharmaceutical field and other related technical requirements. Therefore, dear listeners, please join me in listening to Mr. Thai sharing on the issues and practical notes that may arise during the preparation of documents and the execution of procedures for issuing a GDP certificate. So, when carrying out the procedures for issuing a GDP certificate, what issues should the applicant pay attention to, Mr. Thai?
Regarding the procedure for issuing the GDP certificate, in reality, an enterprise and its distribution facility may encounter various issues. Among these, they often face problems related to the dossier of issuing the GDP certification process, specifically with the technical document about medicinal product and medicinal material distributor, or technical document for short.
Could you please share us any precautions or considerations regarding potential practical issues they may encounter with the technical documents?
I will present the following note on the technical document as follows. First, regarding the list of distributed product in section 1.2 of the technical document, it is necessary to organize the product into a table with columns including the headings, product names, active ingredient, and storage condition. At the same time, the distributor needs to divide the table into three sections corresponding to this product, which are medicinal product and medicinal material stored under normal condition, medicinal product and medicinal material stored in special storage condition, if any, and control medicinal product and medicinal material, if any. The storage condition can be referenced in Circular Number 36, 2018 on good storage practice. Although the mentioned documents are intended to assess the enterprise and its distribution facility ability to distribute medicinal product and medicinal material, the enterprise still needs to ensure the reservation of medicinal product and medicinal material at the facility in good condition according to the standard of the Ministry of Health. Secondly, regarding the personnel chart of the distribution facility in section 2 of the technical document, an enterprise and its distribution facility should detail each position, the relationship between those positions, and its department and the individuals holding those positions. If the personnel chart is complex, it is necessary to represent it visually to ensure clarity. At the same time, when presenting the staff list of the facility, it is important to provide detailed information for each individual, including full name, their address, professional qualification, place of study, assigned job or position, date of employment, and health status. Please note that positions such as individual in charge of pharmaceutical expertise, the warehouse keeper, quality manager, and other equivalent positions must have the appropriate pharmaceutical qualification. Thirdly, regarding storage warehouse, an enterprise and its distribution facility need to show warehouse design in section 3 of the technical document with warehouse infrastructure conditions suitable for distribution facilities and good storage practice for medicinal product and medicinal material principle. In case where it cannot be shown on the technical document, warehouse design document must be attached to the technical document. Additionally, regarding storage conditions in the warehouse that are not shown in the design, they should be clearly stated in the technical document or shown in the warehouse design attached to the file. An enterprise and its distribution facility needs to present the infrastructure, equipment, and reservation principle for each type of product with different storage condition, including normal condition, special storage condition for medicinal product and medicinal material that require special storage condition, and special control for control medicinal product and medicinal material.
Well, Mr. Thai, I have another question. Why does an enterprise and its distribution facility need to comply with the good storage practice of medicinal products and medicinal materials principles when designing then storage infrastructure?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Minh. This is an extremely important point for enterprise involved in distribution of medicinal product and medicinal material. In reality, the storage of medicinal product and medicinal material is a critical operation at distribution facility, ensuring the quality of product throughout the distribution process. Accordingly, Appendix 1, Good Distribution Practice for Medicinal Product, and Appendix 2, Good Distribution Practice for Medicinal Material, issuing in the Circular Number 3, 2018, provide specific detailed guidelines for enterprise on operational procedure as well as the standard for action and process of distribution facilities and regulate the reservation condition of medicinal product and medicinal material as well as the design and construction of infrastructure to ensure the GDP compliance. The document mentioned above provide the following guidelines. 1. Good storage practice or GSP principles are applicable in all circumstances where medicinal products are stored and throughout the distribution process. 2. Record relating to the storage of medicinal products should be kept and be readily available upon request. 3. GSP principles are applicable in all circumstances in all areas where medicinal material are stored. And 4. Records should be kept and must be readily available upon request. Based on this regulation, although the enterprise operate in the field of distribution of medicinal product and medicinal material, the enterprise must also be able to construct infrastructure in such a way that it meets the condition for reserving medicinal product and medicinal material according to GSP principle.
Well, Mr. Thai, thank you for your sharing. Through your answers, I am sure that our listeners have a clearer understanding of the reasons and the importance of enterprise and distribution facilities for reservation of the medicinal products and medicinal materials. So, Mr. Thai, may I ask further? Besides the storage warehouse and other reservation conditions within it, what other considerations regarding reservation are included in the technical documents?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Min. Because the importance of preserving the medicinal product and medicinal material in the distribution chain of enterprise and distribution facility is very high. In section 4 of technical document, the list of storage equipment needs to be filed with storage equipment compiled in the list. The list should detail information such as device name, quantity, country of manufacture, year of manufacture, and condition. If the equipment list is large in quantity, it can be attached with technical document. The distribution of product to buyer is also a crucial activity in the supply chain. Therefore, the mean of transport must ensure that the storage environment in vehicle meet the reservation standard according to regulation on transportation vehicle for distribution facility. If the enterprise or distribution facility do not have vehicle that meet transportation regulation and must rent vehicle from a transportation service provider that meet GDP transportation condition, they must include technical document with document proving the vehicle rental. For example, the service supply contract and clearly state the document information in the technical document. My final note on the technical document is about creating set of standard operating procedure, also known as SOPs. This standard operating procedure will be developed in combined with personal chart as I stated earlier, creating SOP. Accordingly, SOP will guide the general process, not necessarily related to specific medicinal product or medicinal material. From there, the enterprise and its distribution facility ensures transparency in internal operation, guarantee the quality of the medicinal product and medicinal material, and facility easy management.
Well, Mr. Thai, thank you for your notes on the technical documents. through your sharing on the technical documents, particularly regarding the organizational structures, the roles within the structures at the distribution facilities, and the relationship between these positions. I have a following question. Can a foreigner or a Vietnamese residing overseas hold the position that is in charge of pharmaceutical expertise at a medicinal products and medicinal materials distribution facility?
Thank you, Mr. Minh. I would like to provide to Mr. Minh and the listener with some additional information regarding this question as follows. According to the law of Pharmaceutical 2016, the person holding the position in charge of pharmaceutical expertise at medicinal product and medicinal material distribution facility must have a pharmacy practice certificate. Therefore, foreigner or Vietnamese residing overseas must meet the requirement regarding qualification certificate, language proficiency, and pharmacy practice certificate if they wish to hold this position at a medicinal product and medicinal material distribution facility.
Regarding the conditions that you just mentioned, can you share more about the details of them? And do we need to take any notes on those conditions?
I will share more details about this condition so Mr. Minh and the listener can better understand this specific case. Firstly, qualification certificate issued by a foreigner training institution to foreigner or Vietnamese residing overseas who wish to hold a position in charge of pharmaceutical expertise must be recognized according to the regulation of the Minister of Education and Training of Vietnam to meet the qualification requirement. Accordingly, these individuals must carry out a procedure under the Circular Number 13, 2021 to be granted a certificate of degree recognition for their qualification certificate, ensuring that a dossier for issuing a Vietnamese pharmacy practice certificate is provided. Secondly, regarding the criteria for language used in pharmacy practice, Circular Number 7, 2018 clearly states two cases about language condition in pharmacy practice, including those who are not recognized as fluent in Vietnamese language in pharmacy practice and those who are recognized as fluent in the Vietnamese language in pharmacy practice. Number one, for a foreigner or Vietnamese residing overseas who is not fluent in the Vietnamese language for pharmacy practice, the pharmacy practice certificate shall have a statement saying that an interpreter is required during practice. In this case, the foreigner or the Vietnamese residing overseas will need an interpreter during their practice, and the interpreter must meet the evaluation criteria to achieve a level of translation proficiency that is required to practice pharmacy and be granted a certificate of translation proficiency for pharmacy practice. Number two, foreigner and Vietnamese residing overseas who is meet the language requirement for pharmacy practice will be granted a certificate of fluency in Vietnamese language or other language used in pharmacy practice, ensuring that documentation for issuing a pharmacy practice certificate for foreigner or Vietnamese residing overseas is provided. Finally, foreigner and Vietnamese residing overseas needs to be granted a pharmacy practice certificate for foreigner and Vietnamese residing overseas through a review method. The dossier including this following document. Number one, the application form for the pharmacy practice certificate. Number two, a certified true copy of the applicant qualification with a certified true copy certificate of degree recognition for the overseas qualifications. Number three, the original copy or certified true copy of the certificate of practicing if the practice took place in more than one facility. The practice duration will be the total duration of practice at the facility according to the certificate of practice issued by such facilities. If the scope of practice covered by the pharmacy practice certificate require different practice duration and facility, the application shall be enclosed with a certificate of practice of one or several facilities that meet requirement of each position. If the scope of practice covered the pharmacy practice certificate require the same practice duration and facility, the certificate of practice is not required. And number four, Documents issued by overseas competent authorities must be legalized and enclosed with notarized Vietnamese translation pursuant to the Vietnamese law.
Well, with those insights, Mr. Thai and I hope that through this topic, we have provided valuable information about the process, documentation, and potential issues that enterprise may encounter when applying for a GDP certificate. Accordingly, support our dear listeners as well as enterprise and its distribution facility in the process of applying the GDP certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Minh, for raising questions and issues that are concern to our listeners, giving me the opportunity to share more information about this field. Hopefully, through this topic, listener will find useful information for themselves and for their enterprise.
Once again, I would like to thank you, Mr. Bui Quang Thai, for taking the time to participate in the podcast and provide us with very useful information about today's topic. Dear listeners, today's topic is about certificate of good distribution practice for medicinal products and medicinal materials, also known as the GDP certificate, is coming to an end for now. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment below. Or for more information about BLawyers Vietnam, please visit our website linked below. Goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Lawyers Talk podcast.